Hello, this is Arash Vossoughi. I am preparing for Voss Coaching Co. is hosting a world-class wealth event. And there's a lot of things that I prepared for all the guests who are coming. And it's going to be a dynamic week where we're going to create massive changes. But I created something from a book called The Power of Awareness from Neville that I put down and I laminated for everybody that I'm going to give to them as reminders when they leave of what to keep their mind focused on. And I thought, why not do a video and let's really break it down for you to really help you. So I'll give you a few of the key points on here, and I think this will help you quite a bit. Now, first off, with everything, I want you to think about your goal. What do you really want? How do you really want to live? Do you feel like your goal is a magnificent obsession? That you are so fired up about your future, that you're so fired up about your vision, and you're holding steadily to the vision, not to the circumstances. Now let's look here. Neville says it here. He says, you must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Like, let's look at that. What he's saying is you must first build a bigger idea of yourself. You must want something greater than what you have right now. See, that's what our wants are. I was just asking you about your goal. Your wants come from the essence of who you are. If we run, we want to run faster. If we sell, we want to sell more. Our whole spirit is for expression and expansion. And that's the first thing he says. Then he says, then you must make your future dream into a present fact. So what he's saying there is what you want, it's already done. You accept the idea. When you accept the idea, it's a suggestion you're giving to your subconscious mind that this is mine. And you act, feel, and think from that person. It is very critical that you really practice this. And then he says, you must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. So you must be inspirationally dissatisfied. There must be something so far greater. You're grateful for what you have, but you're not satisfied. You have a big vision. You've got a big why. And this is why we've got to have a list of whys. And when our why is stronger than our why not, when we hit adversity, we're going to keep moving through it. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. He says it again. We must make our future dream a present fact. That means it is done. This is for me. If one person can do it, anybody can do it. What we're doing is we're stating it to ourselves with suggestions. Suggestions are what your subconscious really accepts right away. So understand what you want, it's yours. Your job is to accept it. Your job is to change that concept of yourself, your self-image. You're going to grow as far as you grow your image, as far as you grow your attitude of yourself. Then he says, you do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. What does that mean? Your feeling happens in your body. It's the impression your subconscious holds on to. We have to assume the feeling. How would it feel an hour after you had achieved your dream? You want to feel that way first, or else you're not going to do it. You could think like that person. You could take actions, but if you don't assume the feeling, you're going to keep coming back to whatever the dominating feeling in your subconscious mind is going to get you to where you want to go. By desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you're already in that person. That means our imagination is so powerful. Like Einstein says, knowledge isn't power. Imagination is the greatest tool we've been given. It can take us anywhere. There is a place. That's where your imagination goes. Where are you taking it? See, we want to understand every image we accept, whether we're doing it unconsciously or consciously, we are turning that over to our imagination. Now, most people are only living out of their 5 senses. And I want you to put your senses into a lockbox. Your second senses isn't how you're meant to create your life from. Your senses are meant to experience life. You want to create your life from your higher faculties. Now, if you've been following me, I've talked about this so many times. These are your superpowers. You know, like pick one of them. You have your will. You have your imagination. You have your memory. You have your intuition. You have your reasoning faculty. You know, you have so much in your hand to take you to where you want to go. Pick whichever one. You have your will. That's the sixth one. Your will holds an idea on the screen of your mind. That's how we hold the image of the vision from the future in the present right now. And that's what Neville's talking about. If this assumption is persistent, and I don't want you to just persist, I want you to fiercely persist. I want you to detach from the outcome. Focus only on the moment because you're creating in the present moment. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominating feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. If you just follow what I just went over and really put that into your life, it's a done deal. See, once we accept the idea, it's a done deal. Creation's already finished. Our job is to think, feel, talk, and act like that person and build a greater identity of ourselves, build the image of ourselves. Now let's go to another one that I have here. It says, man attracts what he is. See, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So how am I behaving? See, that's why what I say doesn't matter. What I am speaks so much louder than what I say. Most people are talking a game, but they're not living it. They're wearing all these different masks. Man attracts what he is. Look at your results. Look at my results. I'm attracting what I am. The art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let them come to you. See, we live from the end. It's already here. We don't go to the end. The end is already here. We reverse engineer and we say, this is my goal. I want to earn $5 million a year. And I'm thinking like the person who earns $5 million. I study like that person. I act on ideas. I'm a visionary. I'm a leader. These are behaviors coming from that place. Now, observe your inner talking. So observe your speech and ask yourself, do I speak like that person? Because today's inner talking equals tomorrow's facts. Like how I speak today is I'm literally speaking into existence how I'm living. Now, look at this again. Does your inner talking, and remember your aim. What's your aim? Your goal, your big goal that you want, your big vision. Do they match? Does your inner talking match what you would say audibly had you achieved your goal? See, that's coming from. See, most people, they may be studying from me. They may have studied this for years, but they're always trying to go to the end. The end is already done. When you make an irrevocable decision, you come from the end. It is a done deal. When you accept that idea, it's a fact. And then you build that fact into your imagination. And you hold that image with your will. And you do it over and over and over again, and you're going to bring it into your life. Now, look at this. The individual's inner speech and actions, so how I speak and act, how I behave, attracts the conditions of my life. See, those are just two that I went over. You want to learn how to study this. And you want to learn how to practice it and how to behave like the person you want to become. Because I promise you, whether you know it or not, you are practicing what you're getting. And we're spiritual beings living in a physical body. It's not that you have a soul, you are a soul. And you are gifted with an intellect. Those are the higher faculties. And your intellect dictates your emotional state. Your emotional state doesn't just dictate what you attract, it dictates your vibration, and you're in control of that. I'm in control of that. I'm in control of what I do with my imagination. I can't control your imagination, only you can. And my imagination will take me where I want to go. So we want to practice studying this. We want to practice thinking not like you already are, but who you want to become. And you're going to gradually transform yourself into that person. Like Earl Nightingale says, we become what we think about all the time. See, you probably heard thoughts are things. Thoughts are the currency of your result. See, that's where it starts. It starts in the thought. The effect is the result, but that's the currency of the thought. And so we want to understand, we want to take our intellect and dictate our emotional state. We want to feel so good. When we feel so good, we're connected to the highest version of ourselves. It's where you're so connected to God. And when we're operating from the outside world, we're connected to the lowest version. When we're filled with worry, doubt, and fear, that's the lowest version of who we are. We want to put our senses in that lockbox. We don't want our senses to dictate what's possible. We want your faculties. We want you to dictate it. We want you to come from the inside out. If you're living outside in, I promise you, you're not going to go any further than you are right now. We want to change our subconscious conditioning. You're in control of it, and you want to watch this over and over again. Those are just 2 passages. Those are 2 paragraphs that I dissected. And I learned to study from my mentor, Bob Proctor. He learned to study from his mentor, Earl Nightingale. And I remember Bob said, how do you study? I said, oh, I read all these books. He said, stop. Read a couple paragraphs and dissect them. And then make them a part of you. When you make them a part of you, that's making a part of your identity, and you implement it, then you go study something else. I can't tell you. Like, I'm so grateful for Bob. He wasn't just a great mentor of mine. He was a dear friend of mine, and he taught me so much, but studying is at the top of the list. See, I don't move on to study something new until I've made it part of my identity. Don't read 1,000 books. Read one book 1,000 times. Study these 2 paragraphs. Study this lesson. Go deep in it and only think about what you want. I'm telling you, accept it. That if one person can do it, anybody can do it. And learn about your conscious and subconscious mind. Practice how to use it. See, the interesting thing of the subconscious, now this is a big idea. Your subconscious mind creates 96 to 98% of all your results, perceptions, and behavior. Your subconscious mind is running you all day long. But your subconscious mind is connected to universal subconscious. We're all connected to the same subconscious infinite power. So our job is to put ideas that we want. And as you do that, you're going to create an absolutely world-class life. Thank you so much.